Okay, it looks like everything is showing up for the VTuber thing. Good. Alright, one sec while I get the rest of this happening. Sorry it's been a while, chat. I have been playing a bunch of games that either A, don't feel like they would be good for me to stream, like Punch My Dick Simulator, aka Elden Ring, where I probably am the equivalent of a verbal nuke going off when I play that game. Because I just get my ass handed to me over and over again, and I express my anger at that by creating auditory hell. So, yeah, we're not streaming Elden Ring. Sorry. If you wanted to see that, too bad. You're not going to. It wouldn't be that fun anyway, because you would just see me getting my ass kicked over and over again. So instead, I offer you Noita. So let's get that showing on the screen here. Noita. Is that happening? Is it showing it? Where are you, Noita? Noita! Okay, good. Alright, so let me yeet this out to the Zeter. The Zeter. Yeah, so we're gonna do Besieged, but I am doing this first. Because I want to do this first. I feel like doing it, so we're doing it. I'm not sure how entertaining it'll be, because I probably, once again, will get my ass pwned by this extremely, inordinately difficult video game. But I will try. I will try my best. Okay. We are happening. So let's go. Let's do this thing. Alright. So yeah, not a whole lot happening in my life, chat. Just, you know, chilling, doing work, going to work, doing work. My friends and I started a D&D thing, so I got involved in that, and then we were like, oh, let's make little miniature figgies to put on the map board and shit. So I went to a site called Hero Forge and did my bestest to make the approximation of my character, which is a dragonborn, I think. I call him Dragon Man because he is a man-shaped dragon being, and he is a violent maniac drunkard who is allied with some kind of evil demon thing. I don't exactly know how it all works, but I have some kind of a patron that I'm supposed to be coming up with, which I actually kind of just now remembered in saying that I have to work on that for my DM, my dungeon master, who requested that I do this. But he has printed at least some of our little figurine fellas, and we're going to meet up and paint them at some point. So I look forward to that because, you know, I'm all about the arts and crafts. I love art. I'm a big art fan. So looking forward to the possibility of that at some point. Hopefully this weekend, maybe, because, you know, I gotta find something to fill the void. Speaking of art, I actually have something I'm kind of cooking up that I'm kind of excited about because it's actually, like, not turning out half bad, so that'll probably end up being posted on the shitter at some point. And my Twitter 2 account, as I like to call it. I still call it that, even despite the fact that the creators have said Jack Dorsey is probably like, please don't call it Twitter too, and it's like, Jack Dorsey, I'm gonna call it Twitter too, and I don't fucking care what you say. That's what it is. It's made by Jack Dorsey, creator of Twitter, and it looks and functions exactly the same. Literally to a T. So it is, for all intents and purposes, Twitter 2. And really, despite Mr. Mr. Moneybags, owning Twitter 1, it's not really changed a whole lot for me, because my feed only has people I follow, and I don't follow anyone that does politics. So Twitter has been largely the same. Obviously a little less people than there was, because, you know, it's not as nice of a place to be as it once was, but it largely the same as it was for me. Kind of like, I imagine that if you don't get wrapped up in politics on Facebook, I'm sure Facebook is probably fine. But it's just like, I just think about the idea of Zuckerberg, and I'm just like, ew, no thanks. You have to give Facebook so much data, and it's like, I'm not really sure I trust Zuckerberg with my data. Dorsey, I don't think he gives a crap. He's not a data miner. He doesn't get data to sell to everybody who's nosy enough to buy it. But yeah, full disclosure, y'all, if you have a modern cellular phone, or a computer, or anything at all that goes to a web page, you are selling your data about yourself to anyone that wants to buy it, because all of those sites take up all their little aggregated data that can easily be de-anonymized by just kind of matching it up with other anonymized data and tracing the pattern to say, yep, that's so-and-so. All of that's being bought and sold, by the way. So, just, yeah, full disclosure. You're not have any privacy ever. Unless you go full Amish and throw all of your electronics into a Faraday cage, you're being tracked. Now, you're not going to be... There was a thought that the cell phones record conversations, but that has been proven to be false. Where that data proving it's false is, I cannot exactly readily tell you right this second as I'm playing a video game, but there were studies. It's like, the reason it seems like your conversations are tracked is because every site, every Amazon store item you look at, anything that's like a product or service that you view, the phone knows that. Like, it's not recording what you say, but if you look at something that you're talking about, it will know that you looked at that. Because any site you view, any content, any store page, anything like that, that definitely, it will know that. That stuff is tracked, for sure. So, if you don't want to have it know where you're, know things about you, don't let it see what you're looking at. Best case is a VPN. Because the VPN will anonymize you further than not using a VPN. Some people are not really... They don't really like to... I don't have a VPN because I don't care. And because it costs money. And I don't really want to pay the money. I'm a cheap ass. But if I felt for some reason that I did not want anyone knowing what I was looking at or purchasing, I would use a VPN. That's my recommendation. Just saying. If you care about your data, if you care about your privacy, use a VPN. I hear good things, or at least tons of advertisements about NordVPN, but there are a lot of them out there. So, you know, do your research, I guess. But yeah, it's just like, do you really give a shit that, you know, someone knows that you like to buy eggs or shoe polish or like controllers or, you know, something stupid like a stapler? Does that really matter? I mean, if they, you know everything about you, like where you go every day and like exactly how to find you in a crowd and, you know, what kind of things you would respond to in conversation, that gets to be a little creepy. Yeah. Because, you know, that could be used to find you and kill you. And that would be bad, obviously. But here's the thing about that. If you're a boring guy that does nothing, stays home, plays video games, does generally everything by the book, you don't have to worry about anybody coming to kill you, because they have no reason to. So, I guess that's the other piece of it, is if you don't want to be tracked to be slaughtered by some mass murdering psycho, don't do anything illegal. Which might be drugs. If you do marijuana or something, it might not be legal in some states, but yeah, I don't think I would do it. Some people do it for medical reasons, but recreational use, yeah, I'd probably avoid it, honestly. Especially given the possibility of things being hella illegal next year for reasons I don't feel comfortable discussing. But yeah, a lot of normal stuff, like just existing, if you're a trans person, if you've gone through a sex change, you might find people coming after you next year to kill you, or imprison you, or give you heckle you, make your life miserable next year, depending on how certain worldly events shake out. Which, you know, I'm not one of those individuals, so I'm lucky enough that I'm not going to be hassled. But I know of people who may or may not be in that category that I would prefer be left alone and not hassled. So, I am concerned deeply for a number of reasons, not just that. Like, you know, they could be like, oh, you made a particular choice that certain people don't exactly agree with, and that is what's getting you thrown into prison / jail / execution chair. I don't know. The thing is, with the way things are, we have so much uncertainty about the future that it's just like, bro, I don't even know if, like, we might be like living in Mad Max times next year. Who knows? And I say that as an American. If you're from another country, you probably don't have to worry about this stuff. And, you know, you probably have your own issues to deal with. But here in America, things is not great. I follow EVs fairly closely. Like, I read up on them, and I try to understand the state of things in the world of cars. And my opinion is that cars suck right now. Like, horribly. There is not a single car out there other than a very expensive sports car that I would buy. Even if I had if Elon Musk came by and threw me the keys to, like, say, a Chevy Equinox or a Tesla, I would just take those keys and throw them right back at him, or just be like, cool, thanks, I'll go ahead and sell this because I don't want it. You might say, well, why do you not want an EV? Well, I don't like Elon Musk. I don't like his company. I don't like him. I don't feel like supporting him. I don't like the fact that their cars spy on you 24/7. which, you know, I think that's limited to the ones that have, like, the self-driving shit, but I just don't feel like taking the chance, you know? I mean, if the car is guaranteed not to have any cameras in it, I would still not buy it because I don't want any of my money going to the already richest, well, maybe not the richest, but one of the richest men in the world who's acting like a giant fucking baby. I don't think I want to reward that behavior. And that's, as far as, you know, right now, without certain people being in charge of us, not illegal. But next year, it might be illegal to not own a Tesla. And here, get this. So Musk has a lawsuit against all the companies that are currently not advertising on old Twitter. So basically, he has a lawsuit against literally every company in existence that doesn't happen to be advertising on his platform. That must be real nice to just be like, yeah, not everybody in the world is coming to my house and giving me a blowy, so I'm suing everyone. Like, that's just nonsense. That's the lawsuit of a 3-year-old. Like, not everyone's giving me cookies, so I'm suing. Like, that's just the stupidest fucking thing in the world. Like, if it wasn't Elon Musk, I would be like, you're not winning. Like, no judge would ever hear that case. They'd be like, yeah, that's retarded. Dismissed. But since it's Elon Musk, and he has all the money in the world, and could, you know, kind of, sort of, maybe somehow magically make some money appear in certain Supreme Court justices' bank accounts that we totally don't know about, totally off the books, totally kosher, nothing to see here, you know, we could see every company in existence that's not advertising currently on Twitter get sued because they're not advertising on Twitter, and that's somehow illegal. I mean, if that lawsuit goes through, anybody could sue anybody else for just about anything. It's nonsense. Total and complete. I've not heard of a stupider lawsuit in my life. Yeah, I hate this wand. I'm not using it. It's gotten me killed and made no progress. I literally didn't even get to the second area. So, yeah, no, I'm good. We're going to do this spell or the blue ball spell. Those are the two that are good. The green bouncing one, no good. Purple one, no good. This one, kind of short range, but decent enough damage at least. So we'll be okay with this one. I can still easily die in this first area and not make it past the first area still, but at least I'll be able to maybe kill stuff without having to shoot it 6 times. So, in terms of other video games that I am currently playing that I am not, unfortunately, streaming for you, is Kingdom Hearts. I bought the whole ass series on Steam because it finally came to Steam. I've been playing that. It's good. It runs great on my machine because I have NVIDIA and not AMD. Apparently it runs like dog crap on AMD GPU, as in graphics card computers. Apparently they never really considered anybody might own a graphics card made by AMD, so they did not make the game run well for AMD graphics cards, and therefore pretty much everybody that buys it that has AMD graphics cards pretty much refunds it immediately because it crashes constantly and runs like crap. So just a heads up, if you have AMD and you want Kingdom Hearts on Steam, you might want to hold off until they like patch it, which I don't know that they will because they haven't yet. And it's been like how many weeks? 2-3 weeks at this point? So if they haven't patched it by now, you're probably SOL. So wait till you get a new GPU, get an NVIDIA GPU, and then buy the game, because it will not run well otherwise. Which is really bad. I hope that Squeenix considers, you know, making a game that they create work on other systems in the future, like Final Fantasy 16 and the remake Part 2. So, I mean, I'm good. I have an NVIDIA card, so I'm good. Like, that's honestly, between the two of them, it's kind of like Mac versus PC. The one that everyone likes the best is NVIDIA because, I don't know, reasons. And I mean, one of those is Kingdom Hearts runs good with it versus not. But, yeah, it's kind of a, you pay more money for a slightly more up their own ass arrogant company who's really full of themselves, but their products do at least work. Like, I've generally not had a bad experience with NVIDIA, and I know the AMDs are cheaper, and honestly, before certain video games like Kingdom Hearts decided to not ever work with those cards, I would have said, you know, just get the AMD because it's cheaper, but, well, if it doesn't work with certain video games, that's a problem, obviously. But yeah, I've been playing that. I'm not streaming it because I pretty much said on my Twitter that I am not ever streaming anything from Squeenix because they copyright claimed like at least 2 of my videos for Final Fantasy VII Remake. And I'm just like, yo, I will not have your shitty ass super anal retentive composer for your musical scores be claiming my videos and preventing me from streaming again. So, ban. And that goes for Nintendo and everything Nintendo makes too. Which isn't a problem there, because I don't even have a capture card to stream a Nintendo thing anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Now, if it's an emulated game, I'm totally cool with that, because if it's emulated, Nintendo doesn't give a shit about it anyway. You know, obviously within reason. Like, I don't think they're gonna come after me for anything N64 or, like, you know, GameCube. It's really only their new stuff like Switch that they care about, which is good, because that means I can stream all of the emulated old stuff with impunity, pretty much. I mean, I'm not gonna show a video how to emulate old Nintendo games and, like, break their copyright infringement laws. That would be, like, I would get an immediate knocking on my door by a ninja Nintendo assassin, and they would be like, you have 3 seconds to remove this video, or we will fill your butthole with lawsuits. And yeah, don't F with Nintendo. Slightly to a lesser extent, don't F with Squeenix or Sony or Microsoft, but really, really, really don't F with Nintendo. Their lawyers will crush you like a soda can if you put so much as a pinky toe out of line. Those guys really, really mean business. So as such, I am banning every last game that they have ever made, except for, you know, emulated stuff. Anything Switch and up is banned. It will not be streamed. You will not see it. I do apologize, but their policy is bad. They are bad. Okay. Oof, this could be... Oh god. Oh no. Oh, that's okay, I guess. That's not great, but... I actually did not mean to do that. I wanted to switch wands before picking that up, but I pushed the button to, like, go to the menu. And that was the button to pick the thing up, so I accidentally picked up the thing. Oops. So my goal used to be get to the very bottom, final boss, fight it, kill it, win. But since I've already done that, the suggestion, without me looking up guides and spoiling it, is to get 5 of the knowledge orb thingies and then beat the boss, which, yeah, that's gonna be kind of hard to do. Especially since I don't have any water. I probably need to dump one of these and get some water. I should have done that earlier. Kind of wasn't paying attention. I've also been playing Power World, which I don't feel like that would be a good game to stream because I generally do a lot of really tedious, boring stuff like catching the same guy many times. And I'm kind of in the middle of building a new base because I just got the ability to do 4 bases. But that's not a very entertaining stream. Kingdom Hearts probably would have been good if I didn't have a ban in place. I'm actually, again, I'm having a blast with it. I've been really enjoying it because I really like Kingdom Hearts. I kind of sort of like, I don't want to say I grew up with it because I was like older, but I was kind of in my late teens, and you know, it's kind of a teen game, a little bit. There's some relationship shit in it. But yeah, I've been playing the first game. I got through pretty much the entire game, and I'm working on getting the like super badass Keyblade that's really cool, the ultimate weapon. So I've been like running around gathering crap, and that's been kind of boring, but it's also like I did the thing where you pick choices about how your XP gain works, and I picked where it goes faster in the later half, like post 50, so I'm gaining levels really quickly. So I'll probably be ready to fight Sephiroth like fairly quickly. It's just I don't know if I'm gonna do it because I need it's not even like an option. You need to have the keep 1 HP on lethal hit, or you will pretty much insta-die. Because he does this thing where it like nukes your health to 0. So you need the last chance ability in order to, or second chance. You need the second chance ability to not die, basically. And it's a solo fight too. Donald and Goofy are not there, so you have to not only do the like one of the hardest fucking bosses in the game, but you have to do it by yourself. Really isn't that big a deal because Donald and Goofy aren't that important, but they provide de-aggro, like the spirit summons in Elden Ring, and they also occasionally heal you and fill your MP. Occasionally. If they have like MP to spare, or they're, you know, they've got like potions and shit in their inventory. But the Coliseum fights, you can't use potions. You have to use only spells. So if you run out of MP, you're screwed. Then you have to hit stuff and get your MP back. So yeah, I've been working on that. I am going to beat Kingdom Hearts 1 and go to Kingdom Hearts 2 and then eventually get to Kingdom Hearts 3. I will probably do a lot of stuff in Kingdom Hearts 2 that I never did when I had it on PlayStation 2 and 3. I pretty much only beat the game, and then I didn't really do any optional stuff because Kingdom Hearts 2 makes grinding the forms. There's like different forms you can use, like Valor is like dual wield keyblades. Wisdom is like shoot like gun spells. Ultimate is like you float and fly and glide, and you have two keyblades floating around you, and you can like, yeah, it's neat. But boy, those grinding to increase the level of those forms is a huge pain in the ass, from what I remember. Unless the final mix of Kingdom Hearts 2 made that much, much easier, which maybe. And they say that the synthesis of getting the ultimate weapon in 2 is easier, so I sure hope so. Because it's been a bit of a chore in the first game. It's a chore that I'm committed to doing. Because I do want it, and if I decide to try and take on Sephiroth, I'm going to need it. But yeah, I was sort of kind of thinking about maybe breaking my embargo on Squeenix games, but you guys have plenty of other streamers to watch play Kingdom Hearts, even though that is probably a really, really good game to stream. Because it is such a fun game. It's like Babby mode Final Fantasy VII Remake. Because there's no action bar that builds up over time. There's no materia. It's just abilities, spells, and items. That's all there is. So it's very, very simple in comparison. Simple and clean, you might say. Don't worry about that. Just a little joke. For the main game, like the theme of Kingdom Hearts is called Simple and Clean. As you can tell, I'm a bit of a Kingdom Hearts nerd. Kind of know things about it that maybe I shouldn't. But it's one of my more favorite PlayStation 2 games from back in the day. So I thought I would play it again on Steam to enjoy it. Just as a treat. And then, of course, we have the Elden Ring DLC, which is kicking my ass. Oh my god, it's so hard. One of the hardest game content things I have ever done, and it is... I'm making my way through it. I'm getting through it. I would say in the DLC, Elden Ring DLC, I'm probably about 80 to 90%, maybe 70, depending on where exactly I need to be. But I'm trying to follow a guide and do everything, so I'm not doing it blind. I was doing it blind for a while, and then it became annoying to try and figure out how to get to places that are like, there's a lot of cliffs and ravines that you can't get into without going a very specific way. Like, there's places where there's like a tiny cave entrance that's kind of like not well lit, so you just like have to kind of stumble across it or know that it's there already or something. So it's not. I would not recommend playing the DLC without a guide. Most of the people I've started watching my preferred streamers, Bruce and Vinny, play it, and they're doing it completely blind, no guide. But they're missing so much. And there's stuff in the DLC that you can actually get locked out of. As in, if you explore into the wrong places, you suddenly can't do shit that you could have done without going too far. So that sucks. That's another reason I'm doing a guide, is because I don't want to miss out on stuff, and I already have. I've already locked myself out of like 3 or 4 NPCs giving me their crap because I missed or I did something wrong. There's a thing that I went out of my way to try and do that I think I still ended up locking myself out of. Because I did the fight between 2 of the NPCs to like choose, but I failed to. I went to a boss that you're supposed to wait and not do, and if you do it, it makes one of the 2 NPCs you chose not summonable anymore. So yeah, I kind of fucked that up already. And there was a whole quest line that I missed because, again, I beat a boss that you're not supposed to beat before you talk to this dude, and if you do, he disappears and you can't talk to him anymore. So if you pick up the DLC, or you're thinking about picking up the DLC, use the progress guide on the wiki. You will thank me, because you won't miss anything, you won't get locked out of content, you will get all of the things, you will be able to see everything and do everything, and it won't piss you off. Now, it doesn't require you to follow the guide to go to places. Like, what you want to do is you want to avoid the Shadow Keep, which is the big main bad guy castle. You have to go in there to do some stuff to progress, so you actually kind of have to carefully navigate around a thing that will lock you out of stuff, which that's one of my big criticisms for the DLC, apart from the insane difficulty, is that they put some progression behind a place that if you go there, you lock yourself out of content because you went somewhere too soon. But you have to go there. You have to do it. You can't progress without doing it. So that sucks. That is not cool. I am mad at FromSoft for doing that because I had to be very, very careful about what door I went through, or what, just walking into an open space that a boss fight might trigger would be enough to lock you out of content. That's stupid. They should fucking have the NPCs available even after bosses are defeated. That's dumb. That's just mean. That's mean-spirited. And the difficulty, yeah, it's pretty high. It's very, very high. Like, if you don't use summons, Spirit Ashes, you are going to have a rough time. Okay, I got a screenshot of that. That's some music notes. Clearly, you're supposed to play a song right there, but the way you play the song is you go get a flute thing in the upper, like, there's a big tree at the start, outside the cave, and you have to dig your way in there, and then you have to pick up the music playing instrument as one of these equipable items, and you have to pick up the spells and equip the spells to a wand, which I think you pick up the wand as one of the music playing things, and then the notes go here, and you have to carry them with you to a holy mountain and actually put them in a holy mountain, or have Tinker with Wands everywhere. So if you don't get Tinker with Wands everywhere or go to a holy mountain, you can't do it. So they made this music playing thing rather hard in this. There's a lot of nonsense that you have to get through. Sorry, I was talking to the nephew. We were playing Phasmo earlier with my nephew and my sister. She begrudgingly agreed to join. I know she hates that game, or doesn't really enjoy it that much at least. And she plays it with my nephew because he wants her to. And she understands the value in participating in certain activities with us. So, I very much love my sister for agreeing to do that. That's very nice of her. She's a very good sport. And it helps that this week's weekly Phasmo challenge was hide and seek, where the ghost does not really do anything to you. Because your sanity never goes down, so we never got haunted. Oh god. Well, that just nearly killed me. I kind of want to get... Oh, I have teleportation. What am I doing? No! No! Not down! God damn it. It needed to go up. I hate that. The stupid damn cursor flip, it stayed in the middle of the screen and changed where I was aiming. I hate that. I think I'm done. I have played enough of this, I think. If it's gonna keep giving me the here's a pile of fucking shitty rocks spell, then nah, I'm good. That's the major criticism I have about Noita is that purple wand spell does 5 damage instead of the 10 damage that the blue ball spell and the red circle spell does. I think that one does 8 and the blue ball does 10. So 5 damage requires you to shoot enemies 3 times at least on the first level. AKA, you're going to die much sooner, much quicker. Enemies will kill you much easier. And that's like the main spell. And it's just like, your main spell sucks. I hate to break it to you. If they up that spell to 10 damage at least, it wouldn't be a travesty because you'd kill stuff on 1 shot instead of 3. But yeah, nah, we're good. Gonna break the stream off so that it's 2 separate streams for each game, so